We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Bradley Chubb, Miami Dolphins edge defender, who had a super impactful game, made some of the biggest plays for the defense, put the team in a position to win a few different times with his impactful plays. Got to give him a ton of credit. I feel like, he's gotten a lot of criticism being on the Dolphins, getting traded for first round pick, getting a big contract. People think he didn't live up to what he was playing. I always thought he was playing better than what most people thought, but still not quite living up to expectations. But these past few weeks, playing very, very well, very disruptive. I feel like him and Phillips and AVG, the whole D-line getting after it. A lot of players playing better than they were previously in the season. The whole defense deserves credit. Fangio deserves credit. Really excited to see what this unit could do. They worked a lot of games up front here, a lot of twists, a lot of stunts, things like that, confusing the offensive line, and the Dolphins D-line is just, very they're very high motor front. Like, everyone's just flying around, playing aggressive. I know the Dolphins get this thing for being like a soft team. I don't think it's the players that make them sort of a finesse. Like, offensively, they can be a little bit finesse, like with the play calling, but I don't think the players are afraid to get physical. Like, when it happens, like sometimes they run the ball down teams' throats. Defensively, I feel like they've been playing very physical up front. Got to give them some credit. Bradley Chubb makes the biggest play in the game here. We'll break this down, but Sealer's the crash guy. Chubb's looping around. It gets the offensive lineman all the way spin around. He sees that, just tosses him out of the way, off balance. He stays under control the whole time, and I love how his footwork is very consistent. Sorry if you heard my dog there, but then he gets after the quarterback and just stripping the ball. Awareness once you get there at the point of attack, get that ball out. Big play created. Sealer gets the strip sack, and this gets a touchdown for the team after this. So that was a huge, huge play. Cut the lead down, and he was just making plays all throughout, just like this. And yeah, he deserves a bunch of credit for his play as of late. Another super impactful play from Chubb. I feel like he played with really good awareness in this game. First screens, get your hand up, get that pass deflection. He dropped in coverage a decent amount in this game too. He got like a holding call. But other than the holding call, he was actually in a decent spot in the coverage. Like, he shouldn't be dropping as much as he was, but he actually didn't play that bad for the type of player he is. So I think, because they played a lot of base, and that's going to happen with them being your Sam and your Will. Usually it's Van Ginkel, but a lot of times it was Phillips and Chubb in this game. And this is just a heads-up play. Seeing, like, he feels this right here. He's seeing the quarterback, but also feels the O-lineman going past him. So just get your hands off, up, knock that ball down. That's a 2nd and 9, and then they get to stop the next play. Chubb just making very, very big, impactful type plays. I know when it comes to Chubb, people talk about, like, he doesn't really have the bend. He's not really, like, flashy with his rushing, but he's very good with his hands. Like, everything's very precise and quick. You can tell he does a lot of training in that area. Right here, like, there's offensive holding, so but Chubb, like, wins his rep for sure. I think Van Ginkel ends up getting held right there by 65, so this ends up getting called back. But you can see Chubb went out his one-on-one matchup versus 79, and he has the running back leaking out to his side, so he can't just try to win quickly around the edge right there. He could get chipped, so he stays patient. And then once he sees this, get engaged, get the offensive lineman to shoot his hands out by giving that left arm right there, the left hand into the frame of the O-line, gets him to shoot his hands, and now you just, boom, turn him by, get that right hand to the back of the elbow. You're winning to the outside. You just want to beat this outside hand. He does it easily, gets behind him, throw your left elbow back to open up your hips. And then I do love the hustle. Like, he ends up, Mahomes gets the first down and gets called back, obviously, but I do like that Chubb's at least chasing him down, playing with high effort, because this is what Phillips was doing all game, and I really like to see this out of the edge, guys, because it's not easy to keep contained on Mahomes, and the only reason he really gets out of there is because of that holding call. Like I was saying earlier, he dropped in coverage many times, just getting out into the flat, taking away some things. Like, he just looked pretty comfortable out there. Like, he wasn't doing anything crazy, but, like, whether he was, like, the hook or, like, a flat defender, reroute number 2, you can see this guy takes, like, a wider arc release, so he just gets out of there and starts to take away that inside throw, sees this guy sitting here, wants to match here, but in case they do throw this over the middle, he's in a throwing lane, and now he just matches to number 2 down in the flat. Felt pretty comfortable with him playing in those areas, which was weird because that's not his game at all. But he, other than that holding call, which is, was a little on the weaker side, it was a little bit of holding, but wasn't like the most, obvious glaring thing. He actually was in pretty good coverage position throughout the game. And here's the holding call. Look at him dropping out here. He's literally lining up, like, over the number 2, actually playing, like, truly as, like, an outside linebacker, because, like, when you say outside linebacker, it's typically an edge guy, but, like, I like to at least see him being physical here. Line up at, like, 5 yards. It almost looks like they're obviously in base, but if they were in nickel, he's playing as like that nickel defender out here, lined up over the number 2, get physical and reroute, which I like this here, but he just holds on that a little bit too long on the receiver, and he still has eyes on the quarterback, sees 24 working across, he's ready to come down and take this across. He actually, distributes and passes off the routes pretty nicely and stays in a good spot. He just had that little extra hole which he could clean up on, but there's still some good things to take away. And actually makes me feel, from what I saw from Phillips and Chubb, and I know what Van Ginkel is capable of, it actually makes me feel pretty good about the Dolphins when they're in base, because I think they're more comfortable going into base now with Ramsey and Howard on the outside. They feel good about their secondary. They don't need to have as many defensive backs out there all the time. And it, I think, just offers a nice versatility, because they go into nickel and Kogo comes in. He's a lot more comfortable there. I'm comfortable with that. And then even in dime now, they have Needham playing the dime, and that looks a lot better as well. So every package is starting to look better and better as the season goes on. I feel like seeing smart football from players. You can see like Chubb communicating to the sideline, like someone's telling him, or he's like, I'm just gonna get McKinnon here. You see how McKinnon's lined up to the side? He's expecting a screen. He just goes straight to McKinnon and basically guards him man to man, and that takes away that first screen option. And then they throw it back the other side to Kelsey. It gives Mahomes basically 2 options to the side, but McKinnon had the lead blocker, so that was clearly a plan to throw it there too. And he's ready for it, sees it the whole way. Love to see that. Just instinctive heads-up football play on a 3rd and 10 situation, because they did get beat on that first drive, on that touchdown, on a screen play, and they clearly adjusted. I love to see the adjustments out of the defense and stepping up after that pretty bad first opening drive where it's obviously scripted. Another example of him dropping down into the flat, they bring 4 up front, and it's a 1st and 10, and you can see him just leveraging some route concepts. Doesn't need to just shoot down and cover the running back right away. Gain a little bit of depth in case something ends up working over to this side of the field. It doesn't in this case, so he starts get down, get close, kind of bait this throw in a position so once he if it was caught, it is incomplete, but if it was caught, he's there to tackle it for a loss. That's some very smart play from Chubb. I've never seen them play this comfortable in coverage, because him and Phillips are both dropping here. They end up bringing these 3 with Long on a blitz. Long gets held up there a little bit. Looks like I don't know if he grabs the guy hits him in the face there, and then he gets hooked around. But that leaves Raekwon Davis to come up free, because this other guy had to make up, the right guard had to make up for Long shooting in, and they get a free rusher, and then Chubb's just down there in the flat making some smart football play. And then I know some people wanted like the penalty for this, but the helmet came off naturally, and he was just getting up excited, and he didn't throw it. It hit off his arm as it was flying off. Last play, the run breakdown. I did this play in the defensive film video because, of how important it was, but really focused on the back end. But it was really Chubb that kind of, took this play away, because he gets, chop blocked here initially by the running back. I think, he's ready to be like, oh, he's going down the flat. But he also takes him on, because a lot of times when they fake like that, they go out into the flat and become that first option. Nothing's there. They do great coverage on the back end. And then Chubb just never gives up on the play, gets up, is the one who forces Mahomes to throw it away. That was a 3rd and 1 situation. That's the one that got the Dolphins the ball back for the final time. The defense did their job in this game, and I was really impressed overall with the play of players like Bradley Chubb. A lot of them deserve credit, so I'll probably get a lot of defensive film breakdowns this week done. And then with the bye coming, I have some ideas, some plans to just post some videos on like some mid-season stuff, look at things as a whole throughout the, like how the first half of the schedule went, because they were basically at the midseason, basically 1 game ahead of that, and it'll be interesting to look at some things as a whole rather than just like a week-to-week thing, because I think that's a good way to judge a team and some players. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.